We start off our series of reports reviewing events of the year 2012, and our searchlight is focusing on the performance of the Goodluck Jonathan administration and how it's affected the lives of Nigerians. Now, one of the campaign promises of the president was to provide Nigerians with infrastructure as well as improve the security of lives and property. Our State House correspondent Chukwuma Onuekwusi in this special report gives an assessment of the president's performance in the last 1 year.
January 1, 2012, a protest erupted across the country following a proposed deregulation of the downstream sector. To many Nigerians, that was not a pleasant New Year gift from their president. The strike action raised so many issues, one of which was that dialogue between Labour and the federal government was not exhausted before the pronouncements.
There were a lot of levels of dialogue. Labour admitted that it wasn't as a result of not dialoguing. So, be it as it may, there was an agitation, there was a pronouncement, and at the end of the day, both government side and Labour sat on one table and discussed. And those discussions led to conclusive decisions, that are being implemented today.
Decisions may be implemented, but that January 1 pronouncement created a gap between the president and the people.
Whatever gap that existed at the beginning of the year, the government has done a lot to bridge that gap, to further inspire confidence in the people, and to further show that this is a government that is committed to the people.
That consolidation is still being threatened by insecurity in the land.
At the time the Boko Haram insecurity problem became, really serious, you could see that the security agencies seemed like they were struggling to understand the nature of the problem, to formulate a response mechanism, to develop the capacity to address the problem. But as at this moment, December 2012, when you look back, you will give credit to this administration that has been able to develop the capacity to address the problem.
2012 witnessed the exit of a minister of power at a time power generation was said to have doubled. But Naji's exit raised a question on the future of the power sector. Flooding in 2012 was a great challenge. It affected and displaced more people than any other disaster, causing more damage to property and agriculture. At a time, the government will beat its chest to say that there is food security and job creation in the agriculture sector.
We estimate that we have created 2.2 million jobs in the agricultural sector. These jobs are in the primary production side, and also these are jobs that are largely in the rural areas, stemming the migration from rural to urban areas.
Bad roads have remained a source of serious nightmares for motorists and commuters across the country. Statistics from the Federal Road Safety Commission shows that over 4,000 persons were killed by road accidents in 1 year.
In this past 1 year, what this administration has done as far as the road sector is concerned is unequal, even when you put the last 4 years together, the previous 4 years together. This administration has been able to resuscitate a number of the dead projects on our roads. A number of projects that had been abandoned. A good example is the Abuja-Lokoja road that was abandoned. Then the Benin-Ore-Shagamu road that was virtually in a state of coma.
One of the deadliest roads was the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Many had to die before the government cancelled a concession on that road, a concession that never worked.
It just did not work because a situation where after 3 years you have entered into agreement, you now want to outrightly repudiate that agreement, and you are bringing a brand new agreement with very obnoxious clauses and conditions. Things like, if this agreement is signed, government cannot do any other road between Lagos and Ibadan. Government cannot even construct a rail line between Lagos and Ibadan. Even when you sneeze at court, government will pay you compensation. No self-respecting government will go into such an agreement because clearly it is not in the best interest of the people.
The fight against corruption was roundly criticized.
This is the only country in the world whereby the people, both those in the house who are supposed to be checking the people who are doing sharp practices in the oil sector, have been indicted as part of the corruption in the oil sector. And up till now, nothing has been done.
I guess that what people want is a situation where, government grabs people and just beheads them without any due regard for the law. But the truth of the matter is that where persons have been found indictable, it is not the executive that would give judgment. The matter goes to court. And we all know that in this country, court processes take a while.
Year 2012 had been eventful, and as 2013 enters, many Nigerians would want to hold their president by his promise to commitment and transparency, hoping to say at last that indeed he served to the best of his ability and in the best interest of Nigerians. Chukwuma Onuekwusi, Channels Television News.